Hello, this is Kemi Olunloyo, Dr. Kemi, retired Nigerian journalist and activist. It is still the 20th of June, 2026. I did a live video earlier this evening, and I put a video of the summary up, and this is my next post. And this post shows our foreign minister, Bianca Ojukwu, who in the newspapers today said federal government sets June 30th as a deadline to evacuate Nigerians from South Africa. In other words, if you want to leave South Africa and go back to Nigeria, June 30th is the last day that you can go via the government. I don't understand that date, Bianca. You know there's going to be a protest on that day, a peaceful protest. You're not giving that day as some kind of deadline. What, to sort of disrupt the process or what? Because your deadline should really be the day before or 2 days before that protest. Either way, Nigerians are not going. They've told Peter Obi that they'll rather die in South Africa than Nigerian. Okay? You got to understand that some good Nigerians that came to South Africa were affected because of the bad ones. The bad ones are largely the people that you want to take out there, but you refuse to enforce their leaving South Africa. Because you want South Africa to deport them, right? That's probably the best way to do it. I heard there was a meeting at the High Commission in South Africa today. You guys need to understand that you sit in the helms of government and you can't do your job. You need to know that you cannot be censoring media outlets in Nigeria and threatening them with NBC fines if they report negative stories about Nigeria. South Africans, are you listening? In Nigeria, if a TV station reports a negative story about our country outside our country, they fine that TV station 5-10 million, big money. You need to stop this act of terrorism. And I've called NBC a terrorist group. Okay? I've called the National Broadcast Commission of Nigeria a terrorist group because that's all they do. They terrorize journalists and media houses. So nothing negative must be reported. In all this stuff we're calling xenophobia, it's not xenophobia, it's foreign appetite. And at the end of the day, I made up that name, foreigner appetite, and it better go viral. And at the end of the day, the whole point of me doing this video now is to tell you that you cannot continue doing this to the Nigerians. You're using media and media narratives to deceive Nigerians back home, to make South Africans look bad, like they are the ones. We have a very large group of cultists in South Africa. Every day a Nigerian is killed in South Africa. A Nigerian is unalived in South Africa, and it's by another Nigerian. A lot of Igbo boys are in those cults, and they're killing them every single day. Their bodies dumped into rivers. But you're not looking at that. You're not looking at the setup of these criminal networks and gangs inside communities in South Africa. What you're looking at is what will benefit you and the government. So Bianca, get it together. If it's Tinubu you're going to talk to, the media needs to start reporting the root causes of this so-called xenophobia. Our people are doing drugs. There's a drug pipeline from South Africa to Zulu and Anambra State. What is Soludo doing about that? Does he know? Now that I've said it, he should know that. Okay? Didn't he take that government from Obiano? Or are we not talking about the same Anambra State? Governor Soludo needs to do something. There are children leaving his state and going to South Africa to manufacture drugs, to do prostitution, to do internet fraud. And you all sit down there and you think the South Africans are going to wait and watch? What are you doing when jihadists come into your communities and disrupt the whole place? You run out of the community, they burn it down or they kill you. Let's be guided. I'm Kemi Olunloyo, Dr. Kemi, retired journalist and African activist.
Are Nigerians parasites? In almost every country on earth, there is a Nigerian prisoner. However, no one wants to go to Nigeria. Moving abroad is the top 5 career categories in Nigeria. They have ruined their country so terribly that it has become uninhabitable. Police stations look like pigsties, whilst government buildings look like building sites. Corruption in Nigeria is no longer frowned upon. Instead, it is praised. criminality is celebrated in every echelon of society. The people themselves do not elect decent Nigerians, they elect criminals. In Nigeria, the pastor is corrupt, the doctor is corrupt, the engineer, the teacher, the professor, the custom officials, the police, the passport official, the teller, the banker, the ministers, the president, and everyone is corrupt. I'm not sure you understood. I will elaborate. You can get to the Nigerian border with explosives, bribe the officials, and they'll let you in. You can bribe your way through your professors to give you the best grade. Bribe the passport officials to delete your name from the system and create a new identity for you. Or pay the police to arrest someone who annoys you. Nigeria is a complete shithole. Now imagine people raised under such chaotic system coming into your country. From the day they were born, they bribed their way through the authorities, school, and even employment. When a government job opening becomes available, the person in charge sells it to the highest bidder. You see, this is not talked about enough. I have given this a serious thought before making this video, and it breaks my heart that I have to make it. A Nigerian have no sense of queue, keeping the street clean, respect authority, law and order, or the faintest idea of customer service. You should see them bashing, fighting, hating, and disparaging each other instead of working together to fix up the world's greatest human shithole ever put together, called Nigeria. Let me take you around the world. There are Nigerian prisoners in South Africa, Namibia, Botswana, Kenya, Angola, Gabon, Cameroon, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Senegal, Indonesia, the UAE, Qatar, Pakistan, India, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Vietnam, China, Hong Kong, Japan, South Korea, Russia, Ukraine, Poland, Germany, Italy, Switzerland, Norway, the Netherlands, Spain, Canada, the USA, Colombia, Brazil, and even countries as poor as Chad, Congo, and Mali. Their conviction typically surrounds around drug trafficking, pimping or pandering, 419 fraud, which includes dating scams, credit card fraud, and other fraudulent activities. The world has every reason to scrutinize Nigerians 5 times more, or even ban them altogether. Nigerians give black Africans a bad name. I bet you Namibians, Botswana, Kenyans, Angolans, Senegalese, Burkinabes, South Sudanese, or South Africans commit the least crime of all Africans who live in the West, South America, and East Asia. Botswana, Namibians, South Africans, and Kenyans don't leave their countries like Nigerians do. When they do so legally, and when they are in your countries, they are 10 times more likely to abide by the law of the land and stay away from crimes. Now imagine letting someone who doesn't understand law and order, not to litter, not to urinate in public, how to dialogue instead of yelling and using their fist in your country. What do you think will happen? They don't get along with their neighbors or other African countries. How do you think they'll get along with the world's most evolved and developed societies of the West and East Asia? The Nigerian sees the humane laws of your country as a weakness to exploit. Almost every Nigerian is infested with that corrupt mindset. Living in Nigeria, I have tried to find something good to sell to the world, but unfortunately, there are scarce. It is a land absent from progress. The Nigerian system is broken. Nigeria is not even a country. A Hausa person hates the Igbo person to the extent that they can wipe them out. The Igbo hate the Hausa in the same way. The Yoruba have a fundamental hatred for the Igbo that they'll rather die than elect an Igbo person, whilst the Igbo are the world's most arrogant, self-deluding, zero etiquette people of Africa. This is not a country, but a bunch of tribal, unevolved, mentally unstable, over 200 million stupid people. Why would any country let Nigerians into their country? I'm not sure, but if I were the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, I would impose a total ban on Nigerians. The risk outweighs the benefit. There are 24 million homeless Nigerians, which is almost the same as the rest of sub-Saharan Africa combined, and over 70% of the country's population lives in poverty. That is over 160 million people, the highest in the world when averaged, given that India has over 5 times as many people as Nigeria. Nigeria is a chaotic society where people exhibit some of the lowest levels of etiquette and quality known to man. And most of these people are looking for ways to obtain visas to the various developed and semi-developed countries so that they can bring that chaotic upbringing from Nigeria to the world. I have tried to find a better way to euphemize this video. Still, after months of procrastinating, I couldn't find a better way to organize my words, but to say it as it is. If you are a Nigerian watching with the slightest ounce of honesty, you'd agree with me. We have earned the badge of honor of being amongst the worst in the world. Poverty isn't why Nigerians are dishonest, criminal-minded, corrupt, and everything else. Nepal is a poor country. How many Nepalese have you seen committing crimes around the world? Chad, Burkina Faso, Mali, Myanmar, Tajikistan, and South Sudan are poor. You can't see them going around the world committing crimes. Of the world's 195 countries, there is a Nigerian prisoner in 60% of them, the highest of any country on earth. That is not an accident.